Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how you can run Google Ads as a complete beginner and how I've been doing that for Surfsea. So we are going to now dive right into it. So let's start with the panel. So you need to go to ads.google.com and you need to sign in with your Gmail account or your business email account. And the next thing you would need to check is in the admin panel, your account status should always be active. If it is in review or it is paused, you cannot run ads for now. Then the second thing you need to check in the admin account settings is the negative keywords tab. So there should not be any negative keywords on the account level, because these, if there are, these will be applied to all the campaigns that you run. And we usually never want that. We always want to specify negative keywords for each campaign individually. So these two settings are important in admin panel. Then you have access and security. So if someone else is going to run ads on your behalf, you should add them from this tab. You can specify their permissions and you can also specify for what period of time they are going to have access to your Google Ads account. The next thing that you need to do is go to the billing panel, and in payment methods you need to add your credit card details so that you can add funds to your Google Ad account. And you need to decide how much funds you're going to allocate for a particular campaign and add funds accordingly. There can be two payment methods that you opt in for. One is prepay and one is automatic deductions. So within prepay method, you specify, okay, I'm going to spend 7,000 rupees or like $100 a month on this campaign. So I'm going to add that before starting my campaign, and when those funds run out, they will stop the campaign. So your ads won't show anymore. But in the automatic deductions method, even if once you have specified the budget, let's say $100 per month, once the month is over, they will keep showing your ads and your credit card will be charged automatically. So you don't need to add funds every month. The next thing you should be using in your Google Ads panel is Keyword Planner. So I use this extensively. I don't use other keyword research tools like Ahrefs and SimilarWeb. I don't use those platforms because Google provide this for free and it is quite useful. Let me show you how it works. So let's say I want to um, research what keywords are relevant for Surfsea. So I'll start with the website. I'll enter my domain, which is HTTPS, and I'll choose the language, which is English. I'll choose location, which is India and United States, because I want to target people in US as well. Then you're going to use either this entire site or only this page. I want to crawl the entire site for keywords, and then it will show us some keywords which are relevant to this site and how many monthly searches are there for that particular keyword, and how it is growing month on month and year on year, whether more people are searching for that particular keyword this month as compared to previous month, or whether it is a declining trend. The next thing it shows us is with what is the competition like. So which keyword has high competition, which keyword has medium or low competition. And you usually want to have both type of keywords in your campaign, high competition keywords and low competition keywords, because high competition keywords usually have high search volumes as well. uh, but there can be mispriced assets or mispriced keywords in your search campaign. These are keywords which have high search volumes but nobody is targeting those. They are usually rare, but that's where all the results and growth is. So you should definitely include those. It also shows what is the top of the page bid and the lowest and highest range for that keyword. So these are what advertisers have historically paid for a keyword. So if someone is clicking on an ad for your keyword, this is what you are going to get charged. This is the prediction that Google is making, that if you rank on top of the page for this particular keyword, you will have to pay somewhere in between this range for a particular click. All right, then you have budgets and bidding. So in shared budget, you can have a shared budget across campaigns and ad groups. So if you select these three campaigns, you can see that okay, so budget is already specified for these three campaigns. But if there was a campaign where budget was not specified, you can select all those campaigns and create a shared budget amongst them. Then we have goals. Goals is basically you specify what conversion goals do you have. Do you want to attract more visitors to your website? Do you want to have more footfall on your physical store, or are you optimizing for leads? So do you want customers to book a call with you, or do you want more purchases through your website if you're running an e-commerce, so e-commerce store, or if you have a subscription based service, so you want users to pay on the website. So these can be different goals for your campaigns, and it is very important because this will define whether your ad campaign was successful or not, because how many people clicked and how many purchased through your website, that is the metric that you're going to track using Google Analytics. And you can set up Google Analytics on your website through a simple JavaScript library. We'll see that in a separate video. For the campaigns that I am running on Google for Surfsea, I am usually targeting purchase as my conversion goal. So I want them to buy from the landing page and pay through Paddle. And when the subscription is successful and they have uh, had a successful transaction, I trigger an event from my landing page saying that user with this email ID, this transaction ID has purchased from my website, so that I can see the data in Google Ads that okay, 10% clicked on an ad and only 1% or 2% converted as paid customers from my ad campaign. So that can be tracked through that. So the next thing is basically the campaigns panel. Here you'll see all your campaigns and the related keyword that you're targeting for that campaign, the audience that you have for that campaign, with the age group that you're targeting, the locations that you're targeting. So let's create an ad campaign so that you can understand the concepts better. So when you click on create ad campaign, Google is going to suggest some campaign templates which you can use if you are not fond of custom campaigns where you have more control over what the parameters are and how you choose your goals. But if you want to go with the predefined templates, you can do that as well. For example, let's take the website traffic template, and then it will show me some goals. So whether I want to have purchases as my goal and what is the action that I want the user to take. I've already defined these in the conversion and goals panel that I earlier showed you. And then you can click on continue and it will select, it will show you what type of campaign you want to run, whether you want to run a search campaign or you want to run a video campaign where your ad will also be shown on YouTube videos. So I generally run a search campaign because that is very high intent. Google user is already searching for something and you are showing ad to a user who is already on the lookout for something, whereas a video ad is something where the user is not proactive, so user is very passive in that use, but you are showing your ad and it will cost you money for showing that ad, but it won't convert well in comparison to a Google search where he's already searching for, let's say, tutorials for JavaScript or TypeScript, because he has high intent in that case. Then you will enter your domain, then you will select what do you want to focus on, as I told you earlier, like conversions or conversion value, or whether you want to focus on number of clicks that you have for your ad campaign. I'll go with conversions, I usually do that. And you can also set a target cost per action, so like cost per click or cost per conversion. You usually do that when you already have historical data around what is the average cost I bear for a conversion or for a click. But you don't want to set this if you're doing this for the first time and you don't have any historical data. So you always want to start with blank. Now this is a bit weird for Google, because why by default they turn it on, I don't know. You usually don't want to display your ads in display network and search network because they are a waste of money. What it does is, if someone has Google ads on their on their blog or on their e-commerce website, or they have some affiliate or ad network, then Google is going to show your ad there as well. It is not the search bar in the web browser where your ad is showing. So you usually want this to be off. Then you can select the location that you want to target. I usually make this very granular. You can do that by clicking on enter another location and going to advanced search. You can add locations in bulk by adding pin codes, countries, cities, but I usually do this by either by radius or by target. So for example, you want to include United States, the complete country, and maybe you want to do Japan, and then maybe you want to exclude certain cities from Japan and US. So for example, and from US, let's say I want to exclude New York. So now you see that in US I'm going to show ads for everyone who is in the US but not in New York. So you can be very granular with this. For example, if I go to radius and I specify that I want to show my ads within a 100-mile radius, and I go to pin mode, and let's say I select somewhere around Carrot River. So within a 100-mile radius of Carrot River, everyone is going to see my ad if they search for those particular keywords. Once you save this, the next option that you have is whether you want to show people, whether you want to show this ad to people who are interested in that location or to people who are only physically present in that location. So this is also something weird by Google, which I don't know why it recommends it to be presence or interest, but you should always keep it as presence so that only people who are physically present in that location see your ad. Otherwise your money is going to go down the drain if someone is interested in US and you're running ads for people who are in US. So that is a complete waste of time. Now you select the languages that your customers. The next thing that you can do is you can target your user or customer persona. So for example, you may want to target go with browse. I usually define my customer persona from the browse tab. So first we'll select their demographics. For example, whether they are parents of infants or toddlers, or they have like kids who are in the age group of 13 to 17. So we can select that, and then we can identify them by their relationship status, the education level that they have, the home ownership status that they have, the employment, and by the company size as well, like are they employed by a very large employer. Then you can also identify them by their habits and interests. So like if and you can go very granular in this, like in technology, technophiles, people who are interested in high-end computer ads. I don't even know what that word is. You can be very granular in this. And the next thing that you can select is, these are not usually tinkered with when you are starting for the first time. You should keep the automatic assets as off and the broad match keyword as off as well. There are some other settings that you might want to look at. For example, the start and end date. I always set an end date for my camp. It's not going to go over budget, and my ad campaign will end on that specific date. Another thing that you want to do is specify ad schedule. So maybe you want to run ads only between 6 and 7 a.m. in Eastern time, so you can do that as well. Now you can create your keywords yourself, or you can ask Google to create keywords through AI, and I'm going to create them myself. So Google crawled my website Surfsy.com and suggested me these keywords. Right now what I can do is, there are three things that I can do here. One is exact match, second is phrase match, and third is broad match. So for exact match, you need to enclose your keywords in square parentheses, which means that anyone who searches for project tracking will see my ad. But if the spellings are not correct, or if it is project tracking tool, then it won't rank for that particular keyword. You can also do phrase match. So if project tracking tools is within a phrase, so for example, tracking tools for agencies, then both of these are valid. But if it was project tracking software, then this one is not valid. Then these are basically without any parentheses or double quotes, so these are broad keywords. If there is any search term which is similar to these keywords, then also my Google ads will appear for that user. And you are going to use the keyword planner that we saw earlier for selecting what keywords your ads are ranking for. Now we are going to see the actual ad that we are going to show to the user. So this is final URL. This will be the URL where user lands, but your display URL can be different. For example, I want to say surfsy.com, and you can see your preview here. So you see my display URL is basically surfsy.com project tracker agencies, but my actual URL is surfsy.com. You're showing more details about your ad through the URL, so that they know, okay, surfsy.com has a project tracker for agencies where I'm going to land. Then you can also add a phone number, so that they'll see a button called call now. So for example, if I add a number, let's say I use my phone number and I hit apply, so they'll see a call now button, and that can be a conversion metric that Google tracks. So they'll know that, okay, 10 people called on this number from the ad campaign. Then these are headlines, which is headlines are basically this blue title which your ad campaign is going to show to users. For example, let's use Surfsy online project tracking continuous visibility. uh, so these headlines basically appear in the blue on the search results, and you can generate ideas for these headlines for through ChatGPT. And what I've seen is the best results are given by ad campaigns where the initial idea is generated by ChatGPT, but you edit and refine the idea better so that it is more human and not so much salesy. So that works better. You should always edit the responses ChatGPT gives you. You should not just copy paste. So Google also provides some ideas that you can use for your headlines. For example, if I see here, it is saying view ideas. So you should add more and more headlines here, because Google is going to rotate these, and Google is not going to use all of them, but it's always a good idea to take as much space as possible on the search results, because it is going to increase your click-through rate. The more space you take, the better your click-through rate will be. That is usually the case on the search campaigns. Then you have your description which are going to be shown here. The business name and business logo are only available to those who have verified their business in the billing section, I think, the section that I showed you earlier. So let's use ServC. Then you should add at least 4 site links. So for example, the support page, the blogs page, the weighted agencies, the pricing page. You can also add um, showing support and pricing, and then you can also add some call outs. These call outs can be book a call, or for example, schedule a call, get a free trial, join waitlist, contact us, start free, and you can apply all these. So the most space your ad campaign takes, it is going to be better because it will provide you better click through rate. Then you have some URL tracking options. So if you are tracking 2 different ad campaigns, you can specify UTM, medium, source, and campaign in the URL, and it will help you track which ad campaign is receiving more clicks and which is performing better. So you can do that. Let's say done, and next. So now you're going to specify a budget for this. I usually go with the recommended budget because Google suggests this based on historical ad spend by your competitors, by other players who are spending money on the keywords that you are targeting, the location that you're targeting, and the people persona that you're targeting. So I usually go with the recommended budget, but you can set your custom budget by clicking here and specify maybe lesser budget. Let's say I want to have this as 1500 rupees, but you need to remember this, that this is so if you specify, let's say 1500 rupees, your monthly spend is not going to be more than 45,000, but your daily spend can be more than 1500, and some days it can be less than 1500. So your average is taken into consideration. Next, you click on next button and you review your details. Google can sometimes show you this confirm it's you modal, where you need to verify your identity by entering your password or maybe your passkey or your fingerprint. So once you confirm your identity, you need to review the campaign details, and your campaign will go under review and you are good to go. And that's it. So this is how you can run ad campaign as a complete beginner. If you have any doubts, let me know in the comments. If you want to get into more detail about a specific topic within the Google Ads, let me know. I'll try to make a video around that. If you learned something valuable from this video, please drop a like and comment, and I'll see you in the next video.